Hey guys, welcome back. So now we're going to talk about downshift, right? Now downshift is just a little bit more complicated, not too bad, right? We got 4 steps on downshift, right, in comparison to the 2 on upshifting. So downshifting, right, always, the first step is always going to be slow down. All right, why do we slow down? Well, if you need to downshift, it's probably for several reasons. Maybe a stop, you need to stop at a stop sign, at a traffic light. Maybe you need to make a left turn or a right turn, right? Or maybe some sort of emergency happened in front. You need to slow down. You need to downshift. It's very important that you learn how to downshift. Why? Because you do not want to burn your brakes. You don't want to be using your brakes all the time, especially if you're loaded, to slow down your truck. So it's imperative that you learn how to downshift, the best way possible. Okay. So as I said, first step is always going to be to slow down, right? You can slow down to several, depending how is your type of driving, all right? Then you'll decide how far down you want to slow down to be able to downshift. Normally, we recommend everybody here to go anywhere in between 900 to about 700 RPMs to downshift, all right? And then when you come to step 3, which we'll be talking here pretty soon, and you rev your engine, right? You're going to rev your engine anywhere in between no more than 1,000, sometimes depending how far down you went on your downshift, to essentially 1,200 RPMs to rev if you decided to put it in neutral a little bit earlier than normal. All right. So step 1 is always going to be slow down. Step 2 is going to be clutch neutral, because we need to go through neutral first, right? Step 3 is going to be rev the engine, all right? And step 4 is going to be clutch gear, okay? And what we're going to do is that we're going to give you guys, we're going to go out on the ride, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that to you guys. Now, it's very important that you know that once you slow down and you go to clutch neutral, rev the engine, clutch gear, you do not mix those steps, okay? You cannot mix those steps. So for example, take a look at this. I'm getting ready to downshift, right? I'm going to slow down. It's always going to be my first step, all right? I slow down, I'm good to go. I'm ready to downshift. Here I go. I'm going to do this very slow, right? Grab my shifter, clutch, halfway down where it needs to be, all right? Here I go. Neutral. Let go my clutch. Rev. I'm going to rev. Clutch. Gear. Okay? If you notice, guys, every one of those steps happen individually. I did not mix any of those steps, okay? Now, here's the part that catches a lot of people, is that although those steps are individual from each other, they do have to be one behind the other. They have to be fairly quick. Just like, remember the upshift? 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Clutch neutral, clutch gear, clutch neutral, clutch gear. Well, it's very similar to the downshift as well. And remember, guys, we're talking about double clutching on downshift, all right? So it's going to be clutch neutral, rev, clutch gear. Clutch neutral, rev, clutch gear. Clutch neutral, rev, clutch gear. All right? Clutch neutral, rev, clutch gear. Essentially, that's how fast essentially you're gonna go through those steps. If you pause, all right, in the middle of that process, okay, when you go to the next step, more than likely you're gonna have problems, right? Because if I go to clutch neutral and then I sort of freeze there, and then I go rev clutch gear. Well, when I took it out in gear, right? When I slowed down to certain RPMs, right? Well, now that I freeze on neutral after I went to neutral, now this truck has slowed down more, right? So when I do rev and clutch, right? If I'm not sure how much I'm going to rev, then that might not work for you, okay? So slow down to about 700 RPMs, all right? Clutch neutral, rev, no more than 1,000. Try to keep it at about 1,000 RPMs, right? Clutch gear, all right? And it has to be one behind the other, all right? One behind the other. So, all right, guys, I hope you guys are ready because we're about to go out on the ride. Come with me. All right, guys, so we're ready to go out on the ride. I'm going to show you guys the upshifting process and the downshifting process on real life road, and we're going to be driving for real, right? I'm also going to explain a couple things that you need to know when you're driving a CDL, a CMV, especially to get your to obtain your CDL when you go test. All right. All right. So here I go. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to take off. All right. So I'm going to push my clutch, push my service brakes just to make sure. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put the truck in gear. Then I'm going to go ahead and release both my tractor and trailer brake valve. All right. Good. Turn off my four-way flashers because we're out here in front of our building. Turn signal. I'm looking at my mirrors to make sure there's no cars coming. And if they are, then I can just wait for a second until they pass, right? If you guys notice, my hands are in my steering wheel at all times, okay? I'm not going to be putting my hands out, putting my hands off of the steering wheel. All right, here I go. We're gonna go ahead and take off. Got a clear opening here. That clutch, take it out nice and gentle, not too hard, and go ahead and accelerate. All right, don't be afraid of accelerating. Nice and smooth, 1200 RPMs. Clutch neutral, clutch gear, quick. All right. When you do clutch gear and you're gonna take the clutch out again, all right, don't pop the clutch out too hard. Just bring it out gently. Right, here I am, 1200 RPMs, clutch neutral, clutch gear. All right, I'm going to go ahead and accelerate again, 1200, button up, range selector up, clutch neutral, clutch gear. Now I'm on fifth. Alrighty, I'm going again, 1200 RPMs. Here I go, clutch neutral, clutch gear. Now I am in sixth gear. Right, now I'm getting into this curve, so I'm going to slow down very quick. Clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. All right, now I'm back on 5, and I did that before the curve, right? Because I don't want to be shifting on a curve, upshifting or downshifting. Now here I am, I'm taking this turn, and I'm trying to stay sort of in the outside of the curve so that my trailer doesn't go over the yellow line. And it's going to be the same thing on this one. Now this curve is going this way, so I'm going to go ahead and stay on this side of the curve, all right? All right, here I go. I'm looking at my trailer, and I stop. And if you realize, I stopped before the stop sign. I did not went past the stop sign, all right? Put the truck in second, turn signal. I'm going to go ahead and turn right here, okay? Now check it out. My truck is already turning, as you can see from the get-go. All right, so I'm not going to shift. If your truck is already turning, don't shift, okay? All right, here I go. 1200 RPMs, clutch neutral, clutch gear. Fairly quick, all right? 1200 RPMs, clutch neutral, clutch gear. Range selector up. I'm already in 4th gear. I'm getting ready to transition to 5. All right, so here we go. Clutch neutral, clutch gear. Quick. I'm here. I'm in 5. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but right now I'm going down a little bit. All right, it's kind of like a little grade there. You got to try not to shift on those little grades like that, because as soon as you put the truck in neutral, what's going to happen is that the truck is going to take off on you. And if it takes too much speed and you're not fast enough to put it on the next gear, it's going to scratch gears on you. All right, 1200 RPMs, clutch neutral, clutch gear. I'm going to go ahead and accelerate a little bit, do 25 miles an hour right here on this stretch right here. That is the speed limit, and I don't want to go too slow. If you're going 5 miles under the speed limit, guys, you're going to get points deducted. If you're going 10 miles under the speed limit, you're going to get disqualified, all right? And we don't want that to happen. So, can you go to the speed limit? Yes, you can, guys. Yes, you can. But here's the deal, all right? If you do go exactly the speed limit, pay attention, okay? Don't get too distracted, because next thing you know, you're going 5 miles over the speed limit, and now you get disqualified, all right? So right now, my speed limit changed right back there. So clutch neutral, clutch gear. Now I'm on 7. I'm going to go ahead and accelerate anywhere in between 33 and 35 miles an hour. Okay, here I go. I'm about 34, 35 right now. Doing pretty good. Don't be afraid of doing the speed limit, guys. Don't be afraid of it. Not a big deal. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start slowing down. First step of downshifting, about 700 RPMs or so. Clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. Here I go again. Slow down. Clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. All right, button down because now I'm going to transition. Clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. And one more time. Clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. Every time I downshifted, I make sure that I was going at 700 RPMs. Turn signal before I forget. All right, light was green, so I didn't have to stop. All right, here I am. I control my RPMs throughout that curve. 1200, I'm in third, clutch neutral, clutch gear. Now I'm back and forth. Button up, don't wait till it's time to shift to put it on fourth. Clutch neutral, clutch gear. Now I'm on fifth. Here we go again, 1200, clutch neutral, clutch gear. Not too fast, not too slow. I'm making progress on my speed. Clutch neutral, clutch gear. All right. See a lot of cars passing me because a lot of people like to go around here at 45 and 50 miles an hour, but not us. We keep it professional. So, all right. So I'm about to hit my 35 miles an hour. All right, I don't want to go over the speed limit, so I'm going to keep it. If you notice, guys, for the most part, my hands has always been in the steering wheel, okay? Since we took off from the school, this transmission has been in gear pretty much the entire time, with the exception of going through neutral the times that I've been downshifting or upshifting, okay? So we're getting ready to come to quite a little bit of a different turn here. All right, I got a curve coming up and then it turns into a traffic light. So you have to make sure you time yourself as best as you can. Don't wait till it's last minute to stop on the light to start downshifting, but you don't want to do it too early neither. So in the case of this curve, I normally start slowing down about right here, right when I can see the light. 700, clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. All right, now I do it again. 700, clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. All right, I got a green arrow, but I don't want to turn in fifth, so I'm still going to slow down a little more. 700, button down. There we go, clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. My light is still green. I'm going to go ahead, turn signal, and I'm going to go ahead and make my turn. That was a beautiful turn. All right, 1200 RPMs. Clutch neutral, clutch gear. I was in fourth, went back to 5. Here I go again. Clutch neutral, clutch gear. I'm in 6. I'm gonna go one more. Clutch neutral, clutch gear. 7 gear, and this transmission with the the way this truck is spec'd is perfect. 7 gear is perfect for 35 miles an hour. Okay, so here I go. I got a traffic light again ahead of me. Another a reason for me to slow down, right? Just like I said, there's always a reason to downshift. You got to slow down. 700, clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. All right, here we go again. I put my turn signal. I don't want to wait too long to do that. 700 RPMs, clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. Nice and perfect. All right, now my light turned yellow. Check it out. Light turned yellow, right? I'm not going to continue, right? If the light turns yellow, you're going to go ahead and stop before the white line. All right, now that I'm stopped, I'm going to go ahead and grab my shifter, button down, put it on second, take off. All right, I'm going to go straight, clutch neutral, clutch gear, and after I take that gear, now I turn, okay? If you notice, I'm shuffling the steering wheel. Okay, all right, here I go. Clutch neutral, clutch gear, button up. I'm already in fourth. Clutch neutral, clutch gear. 5, clutch neutral, clutch gear, 6, clutch neutral, clutch gear, 7, and that's good enough for this ride, for this speed limit here. It's about 35. Now we're about to stop here, so we won't reach 35 completely. I'm gonna go ahead and put my turn signal on. All right, and I got to make a turn into my driveway, so I'm gonna get here a little early into the center lane so I can start downshifting and let the other people pass. Clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. 700 again, right there. Clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. All right, button down, clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. All right, and I'm using my brakes to help me slow down. Clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. All right, clutch neutral, rev clutch gear. Perfect gear. I'm gonna go ahead and make my turn. I got enough time. I got enough space in between me and that car that's coming in this direction. Very carefully. This is a warehouse, okay? So you always want to come nice and slow. Once you get here to the warehouse, right, turn on your four-way flashers, okay? A lot of warehouses require you to turn your four-way flashers. All right, if you notice, as I said before, I used the entire time I was downshifting, all right? I didn't just, there's times you can let the truck slow down on its own if you have the time and the space, right? But a lot of times you have to use your brakes to slow the truck down to 700, 800, 900, whatever the parameters you're trying to use to downshift. But if you do that, which is completely fine, okay? If you're going to do that, then you need to make sure that you don't press the brakes too hard, all right? Because it's what we call in the industry dynamiting the brakes. If you dynamite the brakes, it's gonna affect your RPMs, all that good stuff, okay? And we just don't want that to happen, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn around here and park our truck. Have a little bit of fun doing the 90 here. See if I can get it in one shot. This ought to be fun. Hey, here I go. Well, guys, I guess that was my one-shot alley dog there, but we'll talk more about the alley dog at some point. Right now, that's a topic for another video. So you guys take care, and I'm excited to see you guys in school. See you later.